Today, I found a new open source coding based large language model that is outperforming codellama 34B as well as StarCoder 15 billion parameter models. Now, this is with just a simple 7 billion base model, and this is where I would like to introduce aiXcoder 7B, which is a coding large language model that is designed to understand and generate code across multiple programming languages such as Python, you have JavaScript, C++, and many others. And this is while offering the state-of-the-art performance in code completion, comprehension, you have generation, as well as many other tasks related to programming languages. Just take a look at this code completion feature that is integrated within VS Code. And this is where entire functions that align with the context is being generated by aligning the syntax. It can even work on semantics, context, and other files within the same project or the code base. This is where it can automatically generate the code for whole lines and entire functions. And at the same time, it can even generate corresponding comments that you can easily accept suggestions for by simply just pressing tab. And the cool thing is that this large language model is something that you can get started with right away by locally installing it. And this is not just the singular thing about aiXcoder. They have plugins that you can access to VS Code as well as JetBrains. So this is a great way for you to access the language model on these two IDEs. This is something that we're going to be exploring throughout today's video as we go further in showcasing what you can do with aiXcoder, taking a look at the performance, as well as how you can get started with the plugins. So with that thought, guys, stay tuned and let's get straight into the video. Sorry for being repetitive, but this month we had insane partnerships with big companies giving out subscriptions to AI tools completely for free. These are tools that will streamline your business's growth and improve your efficiency. Just being a patron this past month, you were given access to 6 paid subscriptions completely for free. Not only do you access these subscriptions, but you gain the ability for consulting, networking, collaborating with the community, as well as with myself. You get access to daily AI news, resources, giveaways, and so much more. If you're interested, check out the Patreon link in the description below to gain access to these benefits. Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video at the World of AI. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at aiX7B, which is a new open source coding large language model. Its base model has been trained on a vast amount of data. Has been extensively trained on 1.2 trillion unique tokens, which is absolutely insane. And it's basically designed for real-world code generation. It's a model that stands out quite effectively in code completion. I've tested it out, and it's something that you should definitely take a look at by first getting started with the plugins, which you can access with JetBrains as well as VS Code. So if you are interested, you can go to their model card or their GitHub repo, which they will give a link to for the VS Code plugin, which you can install with your IDE as well as the JetBrains plugin. And basically, this is a plugin, as they state, that this is an intelligent software development assistant tool. It's a plugin that will help you with code completion, generating code, and a lot of other things, a lot of other related tasks with programming languages. Now, in terms of the large language model, it is actually quite powerful as a 7 billion base model. It's something that outperforms all of these other open source models on human eval. You have MBPP, you have multiple Java, as well as GS, but basically just testing on different programming languages. And it has achieved an average score of 60.1% in comparison to all of these other models such as DeepSeek You have even codellama 34 billion parameters. You also have StarCoder 2, which is 15 billion parameters. And this is a performance on PassAt1 on human eval, as well as these other benchmarks. Now, if we are to scroll down a little bit, we can see the comparison of other models and other benchmarks such as Java, C++, you have JavaScript, as well as Python. And obviously, whenever you look at evaluations like this, it's kind of biased for their own large language model. In other cases, when it's compared to other metrics, it's obviously going to be outperforming aiXcoder. But you can see that it is still relevantly good in these benchmarks, and it shows that it can outperform all of these other 7 billion base models, as well as even outperforming StarCoder's 15 billion parameter model. I definitely recommend that you take a look at the GitHub repo, which gives you a step-by-step option as to how you can quickly get started with this large language model. You can obviously install it with something like LLM Studio, but they have a good step-by-step process as to how you can install it locally. You can even do this with Docker. So if you're interested, take a look at this, which I'll leave a link to in the description below. Now, if you're interested in locally installing this with LM Studio, I have a video which showcases how you can get LM Studio if you do not have it, which I'll leave a link to in the description below. But it's super easy. Make sure you go to the weights or the model card for aiXcoder. You can copy the model card, which I'll leave a link to in the description below. Go to LM Studio once you have opened up, go to the search tab and paste it in over here and click enter. Once you have done that, you can find this model over here with different quant sizes. So download the one that is best fitted for you. You can easily just click download. Once you have done that, you can then head over to the conversation tab and you're going to be able to select this model by clicking on this tab over here, and you're going to be able to select the new model that you just recently downloaded. And you can chat with it within LM Studio, and you're going to be able to interact with it and have it basically like test out the different features such as the code completion as well as the other programming languages tasks. If you would like to book a one-on-one with me where you can access my consulting services, where I can help you grow your business or basically give you a lot of different types of solutions with AI, definitely take a look at the calendar link in the description below. Now, like I said, it supports various different programming languages. You have Java, you have Python, you have Go, C, C++, JavaScript, TypeScript, as well as HTML. Now, if you scroll down a little bit more, it even supports multiple mainstream IDEs. You have Rain, JetBrains, as well as VS Code, but you also have many others that you can actually get started with right away. Now, something cool that you can do actually right now is go to the AIX website and go to the code search. And this is basically where you can use case different sorts of categories and see how it basically performs. In this case, you have an API use case search, which is a string builder, and it's a tool, or you can say a software component that is basically designed to help any sort of developer construct search queries. And this could be for application programming interfaces or for any other use case related to software development. So it will basically allow you to dynamically create a search string based on various parameters or even criteria such as keywords, filters, as well as conditions. It can also particularly be useful for like different scenarios where an application is needed to interact with an API. And this is something that AIX could actually do. This search string builder will simplify the process of constructing complex queries. And you can do that simply by just typing in the definition that you want, and you're going to be able to dynamically create a search string based off those parameters that you have set over here. You can do the exact same thing with GitHub code search. You can do the same thing with natural language code search, which is used for reading and writing files, similar code search, as well as Stack Overflow Q&A search. Now, currently, they don't have a technical report, but you can technically see that they have a lot more information on their GitHub repo. If you scroll down, they have information on fine-tuning examples, the data that they used. They talk a little bit more about training, as well as where they basically were focusing on training their language model on various tasks. So if you're interested in reading all of this, or you want to get a better idea as to what you can do with this model, definitely recommend that you take a look at the GitHub repo because they go a little bit more in depth. Now, I'll be posting the research paper once they do release the technical report so that you can get a more in-depth analysis on this language model. And that's about it for today's video on aiXcoder. It's something that I really wanted to briefly go over because it's a new large language model in the coding field, and I thought it would be really useful to basically push out because there's a lot more language models that are out there, but slowly but surely we're seeing more and more improvements in the coding field, and this is something that is really useful as it's outperforming various models, and it's something that does quite well in generation in terms of code completion. So definitely recommend that you take a look at this, try it out to see if it basically fits your needs, and you could definitely take a look at the links in the description below, which will give you more information on this. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you check out the Patreon page. This is a great way for you to stay up to date with the latest AI news. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. Great way for you to stay up to date with any sort of things that I'm posting on a daily basis. And lastly, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and check out our previous videos because there is a lot of content that you will definitely benefit from. So with that thought, guys, have an amazing day, spread positivity, and I'll see you guys fairly shortly. Peace out, fellas.